Hey, welcome back to another episode of Sovereign Citizen 101. In this series, we're going to call it, what's a good name for it? Misinterpreting the Constitution. Well, let's go with that. As per the other videos in the series, I have another speaker for us. This speaker will probably take up at least 2 episodes, probably closer to 5, depending how. His stuff is a little more thorough, a little more dry, so I got to break it up, and then I have to add some sovereign citizen court video or body cam video of another kind just to keep you guys into the series. Otherwise, you could just Google this speaker and then just rock through the whole thing in one day and put yourself to sleep. It's not that boring if you're interested in sovereign citizens, but it's pretty dry. So if you watch it all in one shot, it might not be the most entertaining thing. So to make it more interesting, I've added some body cam or some court cam, just to mix it up a little bit. So let's start with our. So I've got dummy Sovcit and then Sovcit speaker. I'm gonna start with dummy Sovcit and then we'll move to our Sovereign Citizen 101 speaker. Cool? Cool. Where'd my video go? Of course, it's not a grammar school video without a grammar school issue. Okay, here we go. Here we go.
Can I reserve all my rights prior to crossing your bench?
Say what?
I'd like to reserve all my rights prior to crossing the bench. Does anyone have any contestant to that?
Come on up, talk to the judge.
Okay.
I mean, does anybody contest that? Also, what you should have said is, may I approach the bench or cross the bar? Or may I cross the bar and approach the bench?
Just wanted to make sure I could reserve all my rights prior to that. How you doing today?
Mr. Cook?
I notice how everybody just ignores the way he said it.
I've got 2 tickets to talk to you about. One of them is registration expired. How do you plead to that?
I do not wish to make any pleas at this time. I'd like to challenge the jurisdiction of the court.
Okay. Well, what I'll do, I'll satisfy your curiosity. I'll enter a not guilty and set you for a jury trial.
That would be Your Honor practicing law from the bench, which is not authorized.
Not authorized by who, dummy? Okay, so a couple things just happened here. Sovereign citizens do not wish to make a plea when they go to court. Now, we know you have those 3 typical options: guilty, not guilty, or no contest. In this case, sovereign citizens do not wish to make a plea because they don't want to recognize the court has authority over them. It's as simple as that. Then they'll go on, and then the judge will go on to, and I understand a lot of you guys watch my videos, know all this stuff, but I gotta explain it because somebody new is gonna find me. uh, so then they'll go on to say some dumb stuff like you're practicing law from the bench. The real dumb ones will actually say you're practicing bench from the law. I've definitely heard it before. I'll find it too if you guys want me to. And then they'll challenge jurisdiction, right? Physical jurisdiction, subject matter jurisdiction. Now, since he's in traffic court, that means the court's already established subject matter jurisdiction. And we all know that physical jurisdiction, it depends on which department pulled him over, and most importantly, the geographic location of where he was pulled over.
May not be, but we'll find out. Okay?
All
All
right.
stall
You take these
tactics.
on over and see the prosecutor, develop your pretrial material.
All right, and I'd just like for the record that I object to the proceeding.
Take him over and let him contemplate these.
Come
matters.
this way.
All right, thank you.
Notice how the judge just kept ignoring what he was saying. Just kept moving forward.
Just have a seat.
She gets her own room. Now he's being the
Shit, later.
prosecutor.
All right.
Now, I haven't been to traffic court since I was 16. But what I do remember is that there's typically a line of people or a room of people lined up to wait to talk to the prosecutor for a potential plea deal.
And you are?
Prosecutor for the state.
Okay.
All right, you've got a ticket for registration and insurance. Did you have insurance?
I didn't want to answer any questions.
Okay.
I just wanted to know if you had your delegation of authority or anything. I want to challenge the jurisdiction of the court.
You'll have to file a motion.
I'll have to file a motion to challenge the jurisdiction of the court?
Yes.
Okay. Would I do that here?
You would turn it into the court.
Okay. And is there anything else that you need with me at this time?
So have you pled not guilty to the judge? I
Um,
assume that he had to put in a plea for you.
he actually exercised practicing law from the bench.
So he did put a not guilty verdict or not guilty for you. You making a request for evidence or discovery from the state today?
That's correct.
What are you requesting?
A delegation of authority.
That's not available. That's
Um,
not discovery.
well, it is discovery if I'm presumed innocent until proven guilty. One of the elements of the
Not
crime.
discovery. It's not relevant to.
Well, one
your
of the
stop.
elements of the crime is jurisdiction, so I'd have to be
Right, but
presumed
that's not
guilty of
discovery.
jurisdiction
The
also.
only discovery that we provide to you has to do with the elements of the
Crime,
stop.
correct?
The registration and the insurance. So is there any evidence that you want to request as far as the
So if a person doesn't have insurance or registration, the discovery in this case would be pretty much nothing. Did the guy have it? No, he didn't have it. Did the guy have a license plate on his car? No, he didn't have it. Did the guy have insurance? No, he didn't have it. So there's nothing to present. I guess he could ask for body cam of the traffic stop. That's pretty common for these guys, but what he's asking for is delegation of authority, which her interpretation of that is probably going to be her bar card, her, the fact that she passed the bar, which even if she produced that to him, it's not going to be what is good enough for him anyway. He's basically looking for some sort of proof that this court has authority over him, and no matter what they say to him, he's not going to agree with it.
registration and the insurance?
How about an avertment of authority? Do you have that?
A what?
Avertment of authority? That's just saying that you received authority from a higher court to prosecute.
The authority is written in the public law.
Okay, I would need to see that public law.
Look it
I'm gonna
up,
put down that
dummy.
you're not requesting discovery because you haven't given me any items that you have requested.
Okay.
You'll need to sign a date right there.
And what am I signing and dating?
You're signing that you're requesting a trial and that you are not requesting any discovery that we can provide to you.
That's not correct. I actually asked for your delegation of authority.
That's not discovery.
Okay, then I don't really want to sign this.
So you're refusing
That's
to
correct.
proceed.
That's correct.
Okay. Do you want to send him back in front of the judge? Because we can't proceed without him signing this.
Okay. All right.
Even if she somehow agreed to give him what he was asking for, even though there's really no way to do it under what they're trying to do. I mean, they're asking apples and oranges, right? They're never gonna agree on on this topic ever. He's not gonna sign it anyway. Sovereign citizens look at anything with the court or anything with the state, or just anything in general that's signed as a contract.
Come on back
Oh, here
in.
you go.
They don't sign contracts
Gordon.
unless it benefits them, like free weed for a year. You know this dude smokes some
Yeah.
weed. Actually, I think I have a video of it.
Go have a seat.
The clerk's at the front window, we will complete the payment process. Okay?
Just grab a seat somewhere.
That's true. Did you have insurance when doctor stopped you? Do you now?
Doesn't wish to answer questions. Oh, the judge is talking to somebody else.
Have a seat, it might be a while.
I'm okay, Stan.
Yeah, make him wait. Make him wait. He's gonna drag this process out for months, if not years,
Okay.
for a registration ticket,
That's it.
insurance ticket.
If you don't want to sit down, why don't you help him get out to the recreation area there?
I'm in the way of someone.
Sit, or it'll be escorted out. Judges don't allow people standing in the courtroom.
Okay.
Creation area. All right, let's see. I don't remember. I don't think this wait's long. Okay, squishy mic guy. Sorry if you're getting dizzy.
And let's see, where can see sign? The C sign.
I just went to the list. Do you realize that the issue of jurisdiction is a pretrial matter that needs to be decided before trial? Once you go forward with your trial, the issue of jurisdiction is not to be brought up.
No.
It is my understanding that the issue of jurisdiction can be brought up at any time during the court proceeding.
It needs to be.
And then that kind of explains everything right there. You don't understand shit. Like, you don't understand a freaking thing.
Determined prior to going to trial.
Yes, ma'am.
Take that to the clerk window out there and I'll set your court date.
All right.
I don't know what happened there. Okay, so he's probably laughing because he got assigned a court date and something else without having to sign anything. I'm assuming he's looking at this as a win, which is just ridiculous by itself. But I don't know what the judge did. He probably signed some sort of order that releases his obligation of signing whatever she wanted him to sign. And he's doing that for the sake of moving forward.
They just give you a ticket.
Do I?
They just gave you a ticket.
No, this is a ticket from, they just gave you a ticket?
No, they didn't. But I've never tried it before. I just wanted to challenge the jurisdiction of the court. And
What,
And people, it's funny because you could see their face turn like they got upset. Yeah, but I wasn't doing anything wrong. But I just challenged the jurisdiction of the court. Like,
Yeah.
this is a private bank, really.
Okay, so he met some random person in the lobby and he's trying to sell them on his bullshit. But what's interesting that he said was this is the first time he's done this. I don't think it's the first time he's been pulled over. That's why he's laughing, because he's going through the experience the first time challenging the court's jurisdiction.
Court system, every court. Each one of them are privately owned or whatever.
Yeah.
So they'll act as if this is law, but they're talking about statutes and codes. And statutes and codes only apply to their employees, not us.
What he's doing now could be considered contempt of court, and I know for a fact because we've seen this before. Now, if he's talking to his friends or he's talking to his people at home, it's more of a conspiracy at that point. But if he's talking to people who are going through the court system and trying to give legal advice, which I don't know if he's really crossed that full bridge yet, but this could be a contempt of court issue.
Yeah. Or if I have a friend who, like, uses unless, like, we're not really breaking the law, because you're not doing an act against somebody.
Yeah, exactly. You have an interpersonal property.
Right, because of how the language before or something happened, he was going to be moved away. So.
It's the common law. That's what he used to say. Yeah. And you see how defensive they got that quickly? Mm-hmm. They got real defensive. That lets me know I'm working in their first.
Okay. And then are we supposed to return that to somebody? Okay. That's it? Yeah. Well, I don't know if he actually wants to hand that into his school. I'm just thinking twice about it. I may just say that he was sleeping on the lake.
If for whatever reason they cut it on.
I was given this by the prosecutor.
Did you guys hear that? Prosecutor. Gotta go back and watch my Queen V series to catch that prosecutor.
I just want I don't understand the charges that are being brought against me.
Because you don't understand anything.
No, I
Big
don't.
dummy.
If I wanted to request a motions hearing, but at this time I do not have my motions, how would I go about that?
Any motions have to be entered 10 days prior to your trial.
Okay. Will I have 10 days prior to my trial date?
Dum 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 doo dum dum dum.
And it's got one.
Maybe I'll make it eat Groot an Easter egg. And I've got a screaming goat. I don't know if you can hear it though. Maybe a little bit. Come on, guys. Got more videos to get through. Skateboard. Everything else is out of reach. Got a bunch of Frenchies though.
I was gonna say, you were like, the first one and the last one. Did they not have
It'd be April 20th. April 10th to do it.
All right. Pretty sure she's going to make sure that it's okay with them because they know what I'm going to do. They know that I'm fighting.
And they'll know you'll inevitably lose. They just have to deal with your stuff until then.
Just eating the floor. Damn, one ticket is $150. One ticket is $325. It's $475 they're trying to extort.
Yeah, extort my ass until you get hit by a sovereign citizen like you without insurance, and then your neck pops, and your car's damaged, and then you run away, and then you gotta pay your own deductible. Yeah, all of that happened to me because of a big dummy like this. No, it's not extortion. It's to protect the public. It also does a bunch of other things like pay for our roads, etc. Oh, and it makes sure that people know how to drive, right? I know driver license is not an issue here, but to get a driver license, you need to take a test, and you need to pass that test to show the public you can drive a car without running into everybody and everything. Are you shaking? Just doing the leg thing.
Yeah, April 20th.
And as far as me turning in my motions, I'll just bring them here.
You can file them with the clerk here.
Okay.
I will just submit it into the prosecutor's charge.
Okay.
Stop shaking. Bet even that kid in the background knows to get his registration and insurance when he gets a car. Or she.
Let me guess. I'm gonna have to sign these, correct?
Yep.
And if I don't really want to add my name to any adhesion contracts, how would that work?
You don't get your motions hearing.
Yeah, I don't want to.
I'll just write with you.
But I do understand the dates.
Stop
You
shaking.
didn't want a signed plea.
I do not make pleas.
Did you want to fill out a request to record the hearing?
Yes, ma'am. Well,
It's gonna record it
no,
anyway.
I don't. I don't want to add my name to it.
He doesn't want to. I don't know. This guy's a dummy. They're all dummies. See, that's their warm up. Here we go. Here comes the Sovcit 101. God, for a second, I almost thought I was live. You guys see what he's doing. And it sounds like some of this is practice for him. He's an up and comer. But if you were listening to Queen V, she said that all my paperwork should precede me, and he obviously didn't do that. And if you guys are wondering why I'm doing this, because there's a lot of sovereign citizens, it seems to be growing. It might not be growing, it just could be a lot more visible since technology is so readily available that we just see it more. But if you're wondering where all these people get it from, it's from guys like our guy we're about to play. Right about, right about.
Carl Miller is an expert on the Constitution of the United States and the Bill of Rights. He has studied law for over 25 years and has a courtroom win-loss rate of over 90%. He is not an attorney. Carl prefers to represent himself.
By the way, I can't substantiate any of these numbers. And who the hell goes to practices law for 25 years and doesn't get a law degree and a bar license? He goes on to say he's not an attorney. Oh, the win-loss rate. I've never seen a sovereign citizen win any of their sovereign citizen arguments in court, so I'm guessing they are counting dismissals. And I'm sure he probably gets a few dismissed.
As he delights in tying federal prosecutors in knots, often winning the praise and respect of the judges at the same time.
Okay, he enjoys tying prosecutors in knots, and that's basically what these guys do. Often winning the praise and respect of the judges at the same time, which I guarantee is bullshit.
Carl is a highly decorated hero of the Vietnam War, serving in the elite Apache troop as a paratrooper and crew chief. The famous movie Apocalypse Now and the best-selling book Apache Sunrise are based on the true life experiences of this group of brave and patriotic
Okay, so this next part has got to be a joke.
Americans. Carl Miller was inducted into the top-secret project Blue Book, and he considers it an honor to have served in several operations supporting Lieutenant Colonel Bo Greitz, including Operation Eagle Snatch. Carl is a veteran of hundreds of dangerous parachute jumps, breaking his legs or ankles 6 times, shot down 4 times, personally shot twice. Carl has miraculously escaped death numerous times. Carl credits divine intervention and God's providence for the preserving his life unto this day so that he may complete the most important mission of his life, that of teaching others the importance of the Constitution of the United States and how to use it, and by using it, thus preserving it. Carl has taught hundreds of people, including housewives and truck drivers, the fine art of arguing the Constitution and winning in court. Carl says it's easy once you know how, and a whole lot of fun, too.
Okay, so I don't doubt that Carl's a war hero. I don't doubt that he's been injured in war, and honestly, Carl, I thank you for your service. It's this Operation Blue Book, and then everything you say that throws me off quite a bit.
Good evening, folks. I want to thank you for inviting me into your home tonight to talk to you about an extremely important issue to you. I basically am here to talk about the United States Constitution and our government and some of the principles that you need to understand most thoroughly so that you can have an effective opportunity to exercise your constitutional rights. The whole purpose of this is that you understand that these rights come from God, okay, that they are God-inspired. God is the one who endowed us with these rights, and that this Constitution merely...
I'm under the impression they come from democracy and legislation as well as presidential order, governor order, etc.
offers a legitimate program to protect those rights or to secure those rights and the blessings of those rights on ourselves and on our children for all time. It's important that you understand that the Constitution is God-inspired. It's important that you understand that a lot of the principles that are in the Constitution actually come out of the Holy Bible, okay? And it's very important that you understand that this Constitution allows each of you to be a king or queen in your own right, as long as you recognize one principle, that you don't ever create a situation where you take away the rights of another. So the whole point of having the Constitution is so that all of us can have the rights equally, and as long as we respect our neighbor and allow them also to have the rights equally, the protections are going to last forever. And the reality is that we are going to get thoroughly into your Constitution. We want you to find a Constitution wherever you can, and we are going to basically take you step by step through some of the most important parts of this Constitution so that you can better exercise your rights in a timely fashion. Now, the facts are simple. If you don't know your rights, you don't have any rights, and that's just the way it is. And if you certainly couldn't exercise those rights timely if you don't know what they are. So what's going to happen is they're going to tell you what your rights are, and do you think they're going to tell you in your favor? Certainly not. Now, we've come a long way to put this program on to help you. By the way, my name is Carl Miller. I want to thank you again for inviting me into your home. We're going to proceed with vigor. I should tell you a few things about me, that I'm a prior service soldier. I served 3 combat tours, Republic of Vietnam. I should tell you that I was a participant in the top secret project called Blue Book, where the officers in the jungle smelled a rat in the woodpile, and they decided to pull their top soldiers aside, and they come on over here. Come on over here. We want to talk to you. And they took their top soldiers in the corner, and they started teaching them things like duty, honor, country, pride in the Corps. They taught us history. They taught us all kind of programming as far as what's going on in our government. They taught us the Constitution. We had to be able to rattle the Constitution off just like we would any manual of arms.
Let's just break that down real quick. Hold on. Let's break that down real quick. Did you hear what he just said? They're at, his words, they're at war. And then they pull aside soldiers, not just any soldiers, the top soldiers. He also said this operation was top secret, which he's talking about it now. Now, Vietnam was so long ago, I'm sure it's declassified if it was ever top secret. But what they did was they pulled these soldiers aside while at war, and they taught them history and the Constitution and made them memorize it. Think about that. If that's not some bullshit, I don't know what is.
And this all took place totally top secret so that we wouldn't offend any chains of command or any presidential problems similar to what happened between General MacArthur. The bottom line is this was taken totally upon their own, shall we say, careers to pull this thing off. And this happened all throughout a lot of the military services in Vietnam. Marine Corps, Air Force, Army. They all pulled aside their best people and they started putting everything on and teaching us our Constitution. So I'm going to try and instill in you that flame that was instilled in me over 25 years ago, in which I have been transferring ever since. I have been fighting tooth and nail to defend the Constitution. I have helped thousands and thousands and thousands of other people do the same. I teach people how to be their own counsel, to stand up in courts of law, and be able to exercise their constitutional rights in a timely and effective manner. And the good Lord willing, I'll be able to keep doing that. So why don't we right now try and get into some parts of the Constitution. The most important thing that I can teach you about this Constitution is the importance of reading it. You must read the Constitution and understand what physically is involved. You must know your rights and timely assert them. That is your burden. If you do not, then a legal term called laches incurs is in full force. Laches is a legal term which is defined as laches is a species of action wherein a party of reasonable intelligence and integrity, having a right to take an action as is prescribed by law and having failed to timely do so, loses all right to proceed. So what is actually happening out there, folks, is that laches is incurring because most people don't read their Constitution and know what's involved. So then you are left to being told, well, that's what it means. Okay, so you just got to do what you got to do, and you're told, and they're going to tell you in favor of them. They're not going to tell you in favor of you. So it's better for you to read the book and understand what's in it. It's not a very big book. I highly recommend the book. You can get several versions. A lot of times you contact your congressman. My congressman, Dominic Vincentini, state senator, supplied this one for me. John Kuhn, a Libertarian candidate, has supplied several also. Some of these folks, just check with your local congressman or state rep. A lot of times they'll just give you one. If you cannot find one, go down to your United States government building.
I'm gonna make a joke that might piss some people off. Um, so this video was God, this video was made, I think in 2010, maybe. Um, and I've never tried the whole call your congressman to get a copy of the Constitution. I've got this little pocket one. It's like 80 pages, including an index and um, some other stuff. Table of contents. Um, they're pretty handy. I don't use it that much, but since I do stuff like this, they come in pretty handy. Second of all, you know what? I won't make my joke. Let's just say I got a feeling there's a good handful of senators and or just Congress people in general that they probably haven't even heard of this.
Here in the Detroit vicinity, it's called the McNamara Building on the first floor. And what we do then is we go into the government printing office, and usually they're about $1. But I highly recommend you go get one. I don't leave home without mine. I usually have 3 or 4 of them someplace. And I hand them out also myself. I give them out to whoever. I think one of the most kindest things I can do to a person is give them this book and show them how it works. This
Hey,
book is
Cash.
kind of like a genie in a bottle. If you know how to stroke this book, I'm telling you, the genie comes out. And it usually with a force that will be clearly recognized in any court in the land. Now that doesn't mean it'll be easy. You might have to work a little bit. But basically there's an argument, and it comes like this. If I violate your rights, you may or may not know about it. If you know about it, you may or may not be able to do something about it. If you do have an ability to do something about it, you may or may not have the financial wherewithal to go to a finished program. If you do have the financial wherewithal, you may not have the intestinal fortitude to go to a finished program. So most of the time, your governments and your abusive personalities in government or your corporations pretty much have carte blanche to injure you. Because in 99.9% of the cases, most people will not proceed. But every now and then, you run into that one hard nut, and he doesn't quit or she doesn't quit till the cows come home.
I gotta say, a lot of what we're gonna see in part 1 and part 2, he actually makes sense. I actually do agree with him that if you don't know your rights, if you don't exercise your rights, you might not keep them, or you're bound to lose them, et cetera, right? Like how often do we see, you know, cops kind of break rules around trespass IDs and kind of stretch the limitations of what they can do because they can ask for anything, right? But they can't enforce everything. So he starts off, other than this Operation Blue Book, just blows my mind. He starts out making some sense, and he stays making sense for a little while, which I'll probably show in. He'll probably make sense through at least half of part 2.
What happens is that person will prevail, and those are the people that are actually generating better protections and better constitutional rights for you. Those are the ones that are going to the Supreme Courts and the Courts of Appeals and what have you, that are pushing, that are spending their life funds to allow you to have the benefit. But if you aren't there to catch the benefit, then the benefit is lost. So we're going to get right into the Constitution. We're going to teach you some things about it. Pay attention, because we're really doing this out of an act of love for you, and we're hoping to God you're going to pick up on it and pay attention. Okay? Now, I'm going to put one Constitution down here so the folks can see it. I will open this up from time to time to demonstrate things to you. I will basically try and read out of another Constitution so that we can better show you some of the things that are involved. Now, it's important that you understand that this Constitution is in writing. It's important that you understand that it is a legal document, okay? That it was ratified by all of the members in a Congress together, right? And that document can be, you can get all the signatures on the document. Okay? And it's important that you understand that there was an offer. Government offered to govern. There was a consideration. The citizens considered how.
You get what he's saying, right? He's saying there's an offer in consideration. What are the two elements of a contract? An offer and a consideration. Uh, Contract. Anyway, that's part one for you guys. Part one of Carl. I'm gonna roll a part two pretty much immediately. I don't know if I'm gonna go live with part two or if I'm going to produce it just like this one. So anyway, stick with me. We'll find out together.